Who's ready? Who's ready to do some visioning this week? So, if you guys, I think most of you guys have been here the entire time, but if you haven't been here the entire time, well, this is sharing the journey from starting a cleaning business from zero, and actually sharing with you guys this time, sharing the journey along the way, starting vision meetings from week number one, and showing you guys the process or the progress that we are making, or maybe not making, and the processes and the systems that we're using to either make that progress or not make progress. So that's what this is about, is just showing you guys that the same systems that you guys are using, the same softwares you guys are using, that's what we're doing, right? And so if we're using the exact same systems and processes, the same softwares, we're doing all things the same, and you're able to watch this business go from zero to $1 million a year. What's stopping your business from doing the same thing? Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Actually, let me look in the chat here, see what's happening in the chat. I'm gonna share my screen here in a minute. So, ooh, Renee's getting some warm weather there in Connecticut. It's like springtime up there. It's nice to see. All right. Okay, so first off, vision sheet. Everyone in here using the vision sheet? Everyone in here using the vision sheet? Yes. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. If you're not using the vision sheet, there's a training inside school. Now it's in school on how to use the vision sheet, right? And so as a reminder for anybody who didn't see, all of the trainings are now inside school. So the portal, the old Masterclass 2.0 portal, it's non-valuable anymore because everything is now inside school. So let me actually show you guys that first, and then I'll share then I'll start sharing some numbers here. Okay, so inside school here, if you go to classroom, everything is now inside school. Okay, so if you're inside Decade in a Day, all your stuff is inside here. If you're an advisor, all the recordings from the advisor calls are inside here. If you guys have access to the Facebook ads course, it is right here as well. Go ahead level courses right here, but Masterclass 2.0 is now inside school. The 0 to million, this call right here, all the recordings are right inside here. The softwares and marketing trainings, which happen on Tuesday, all the replays and recordings are inside here. The 40 to 83K trainings that we're doing every Friday, all the replays are inside here. We have bonus marketing trainings and then bonus sales trainings, all inside school. You never have to leave school. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so anyway, if you do not know how to use the vision sheet, there is a training inside here on how to use the vision sheet. And if there's not, I think there is a training. Oh, I don't know if there's a training actually, now that I realize that. I know there's one for Decade in a Day. It's a Decade in a Day thing. Okay, cool. I'll make it a note to put a vision training, a vision sheet training in here. But this is basically what this is, guys. I'm just sharing you guys our vision sheet every single week. And so this is the sheet that we're using to be able to see what the data says is the constraint in our business. And then by us being able to see what the constraint is, we're able to focus on deconstraining our business by focusing in that area. So there's a lot of emotion in business. How many of you guys are feeling emotions today? Maybe on a Monday morning, maybe you have, they don't want to cancel their cleans because of the eclipse. You're like, right? Did you have cleaners not show up because of the eclipse, right? Maybe they're just hungover. Who knows, right? Whatever. There's a lot of emotions that happen in this business. And so a lot of times we make decisions based on that emotion, right? Because we want that feeling to go away. So we're like, I got to do something. I feel this feeling and I want it to go away. So I want to take action to get rid of this feeling, right? Or a lot of times it just paralyzes us to do nothing, right? We just want to like sit there and like hunker down, like wait for it to pass. And the truth of the matter is that it's actually a combination of those two things. We actually do need to take action, but we don't need to take it in the moment, right? We need to let the emotion run off and not make a decision, or not make emotional decisions, but like accept the fact. And then when we get to a logical state, then make a decision. And so that's the beauty of this vision sheet in itself, is that it allows the emotion of canceled clients, canceled cleaners, everything in between there to show up on a stat sheet, and then for us to focus on, okay, how do we solve this problem? Okay. So here we go. This is the week of 4/1 to 4/7. And so our job ticket hours last week was 58, and the previous week was 74. This number might not be 100% accurate just because we did have a trainee, and her hours, I did not count her hours at all, although I believe the last 2 days of training, her hours did count. So this number is probably, it's probably a little bit, I mean, it definitely is higher, but just for easy math's sake, I did not count any of her hours. That's why this number looks to have gone down. But the last couple of days, her job ticket hours did count. Average cleaner hours went up from 11 to 9. And the number of cleaners, yes, now Joanne's scribbling on my screen. Dang it, Joanne. I don't even know how that happens. That happened to me during a masterclass presentation too, and I'm just like, how does somebody scribble on the screen? At least I know you're paying attention to it. You're maybe trying to take notes or something. Anyway, we'll go on with this green scribble on the screen for now. So I don't know how to get rid of it. I'm gonna stop sharing. Let me reshare. All right, it's gone now. Okay, so we have 4 cleaners now instead of 3, which is great. We're making progress there. Monthly revenue. So this was a new month. So you can see last week, the end of March, we finished out with $5,600. This is the start of this month. We billed $2,800 inside ZenMaid. So our weekly revenue is $2,800. Revenue per clean is 215, and weekly total cleans is 13. So this is actually something that I just had a one-on-one with Jacinta, and she was asking, how do you figure out this revenue per clean number? Does anyone here know how to figure out this revenue per clean? Cool. So if you do, cool. This is going to be a good refresher. If you don't, this is going to be helpful. So simply, how much revenue did your business make last week? So if you guys have your super fancy calculators, right? Your iPhone, pull up your iPhone real quick. Do this with me. I'll do it with you guys here. So last week, Mesa 5-star, we did $2,800 in revenue. So I type in $2,800. See that? Okay. And how many cleans did we perform last week? Can you guys see here? How many cleans did we perform? We performed 13 cleans. Okay, I can make this bigger if you want. Okay. So we take that $2,800, our weekly revenue, we divide it by 13. And that is our average revenue per clean, as you guys can see here, is now $215. So that's how we get this number. It's simply, how much money did your business do? How many cleans did you do last week? You divide that, how much money did your business do, divided by how many cleans you did, and you come up with the average revenue per clean. Cool. So that's how the number is calculated. Last week was at 227, week before was at 244. So, and then our goal is 238, right? So we're a little bit below what we want to be charging for a revenue per clean. Weekly total cleans, we did 13 cleans last week. We did 13 weeks before, and then 5, 5, and 1 a couple weeks before that. Our goal is to get to 19 cleans. So we're actually not too far off that first goal, which is actually kind of crazy. If you think about it, like, so mind you guys, again, this is why the data is important. I think Cammy's on here today, right? I think I saw Cammy. Is Cammy on here? Cammy knows
I am on here.
Yeah, Cammy knows how much about data, right? So this is why this is important, because we did 13 cleans last week. We did $2,800 a week, but if you realize that we're only 6 cleans away for the entire week, that means 1 extra clean a day. If we can count Saturdays as well. If we just do 1 extra clean every single day, and we continue to average $230 per clean, and we do that 4.3 weeks in a row, our business is doing $20,000 a month. Now, for some of you guys on here, that'd be really freaking cool, right? Like, some of you guys in here are doing $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month, $8,000 a month. Some of you guys are doing more than that, but regardless, this is why this data is important, because you can see we started with 5. Actually, we started with 1. We literally started with 1 clean. The very first week, we did 1 clean. And the next week, we did 5. Then we did 13. We did 13 again. This week, we'll see. Maybe it'll go down, right? Maybe it'll go up. But our goal is to get to 19. Okay. So that's these are the stats from last week, and you can see the stats from the previous 4 weeks as well. And so as we scroll down here, some of these numbers are this is where these numbers are pulling from. So you can see from ZenMaid, we did $2,800 last week. Inside QuickBooks, we did $1,456. Now, I think this is super important because you guys are watching the start of this thing. So QuickBooks is going to lag. The reason, does anyone know why QuickBooks will lag? Why it's less than ZenMaid? Can anyone guess? Type in the chat. Why is QuickBooks less than ZenMaid? Super important stuff. But the details are, I think, where you guys have clarity will help you guys be able to decipher why each of these numbers are important. All right. So payment processing is correct. Exactly. Right. So ZenMaid will show you what you billed. QuickBooks will tell you what you collected. Okay. So when you guys are watching this thing live, you guys will notice that there will be a lag. That QuickBooks will definitely be less than ZenMaid. Out of the year and a half that we've been doing this vision meeting, never once has ZenMaid and QuickBooks ever been the same. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. I want to emphasize that so you guys don't think that you guys have a problem when ZenMaid and QuickBooks, when they're not the same. They will never be the same. Ever. It's simply just showing you how much money you billed this week. So ZenMaid will show you how much billable income you have sitting there, and QuickBooks will show you how much money you've collected. Now, again, as you guys watch this process of me starting, like there will be a lag where QuickBooks will be definitely behind. There will be a point where it will potentially turn back around. When I look at our Bozeman location, our QuickBooks is actually usually more than our ZenMaid is. And the reason being is that because our outstanding invoices are obviously more, they're a lot more as well. And so when we collect money, sometimes we collect money from the month before a month afterwards. So that's really why our QuickBooks and our other location actually is more than ZenMaid is because like we have a lag time on collecting money. Right? And when you're doing $100,000 a month, like we usually have between 10 and 15,000 that are outstanding every single month, which I think is freaking crazy. A lot. That's like a payroll. That's literally a payroll that just sits out there. And yeah, but important to notate the difference regardless. There's a lag time on how much in time you collect versus how much money is actually billed, because clients, they take a day to pay the invoice. And when they pay the invoice via card, then it goes to Stripe, and Stripe holds the funds for 2 or 3 days. And then it finally, after a day or two, then it goes to your bank account. So it might be 5 days after you invoice the client that the money actually lands your bank account. So that's why. Okay, outstanding invoices. Yeah, we have $950 less than 7 days, and only $150 that's less than 7 days. So when I look at this number, I like to see the difference between the less than 7 days and greater 7 days, because if it's less than 7 days, I'm okay, because that means that clients are paying their bills. Like for instance, 450 of this was move out clean that we did last Friday, and the girl just paid it this morning, as an example, right? But when this number gets greater than 7 days, that's when I start to get a little bit more alarmed, and I'm like, what's going on? I'll look to the invoices a little bit more and see if there's clients who are refusing to pay. A lot of the culprits are commercial accounts. So if you guys have ever dealt with any sort of like small office cleans or property managers, things like that, yeah, they'd love to pay their bills as far out as possible. So anyway, that's the revenue side of things. Let's get into marketing. So marketing last week, we spent $200 on Google Local Services. Great. Facebook ad spend, we spent $357, which means as a whole, we spent $557 on marketing. We got 29 Facebook leads. We got 1 Facebook Messenger, 5 missed calls, 7 local services. We got 2 homepage. This is exciting because I believe this is our first week, if I look back, that we actually had a homepage lead. So it's taken us a little bit of time, but we're starting to get a little bit of traction. People are maybe Googling us, or they're coming from our Facebook posts inside the groups. But I believe this is our first week where we actually got a homepage lead. Maybe it's our second. Yeah, so we got 1 homepage lead, the very first one, and that was like a referral. Really, I remember who this lead was, but these were like these were two actual leads who came off the internet, off the web, who just were like, hey, let me see what Mesa 5-star has to do. So that's pretty cool. We had 2 incoming call leads that we answered, and we had 1 referral. So we got 47 leads last week. Our cost per lead is $11.87, which, I mean, I'll take that forever and ever and ever. Like it's so good. It's so good. So marketing going good. Number of spots 7 days out. So this is the number of spots that are fillable spots on the calendar. And so right now we have 9 spots on the calendar that can be filled. So this number will go up and down based on how much availability your cleaners have. So last week, if we look at this, I don't think it was that much. It was 7. Yeah, 7. The week before that was 8. So it's been pretty consistent. The difference is that now we have a whole nother cleaner that we can fill their schedule. So technically we should have more cleans on the schedule because now we have an extra spot. We should be able to fill more cleans on the schedule because we have an extra cleaner that can take more cleans. Okay, so last week for calls made, I made 171 calls. We had 13 people answer. We had 18 missed calls. I had 8 scheduled discovery calls. 5 people showed up for those discovery calls. I performed 10 discovery calls, and then some people bought. So to make sure that this is not confusing to anybody, these were calls that were scheduled. These were the calls that showed up. So that means that we do not have we have a good show rate. Okay, so these 2 things, cool. Discovery calls performed. So out of the 5 people, out of these 5 people who showed up, I actually did 10 calls, which means that out of these 171 calls, I talked to 5 more people. Okay, and those 5 more people I talked to, out of the 10 people I talked to, 7 people actually bought cleaning services. Okay, which equated to $1,730 in new client revenue. Actually, this is not in correlation to this number. This 1,730 is in correlation to this week's revenue. So this is actually the revenue that was actually billed inside ZenMaid. Okay. Which is actually something that Jessica and Lucas, I think Jessica and Lucas around here, they should do a really good job of separating this. I think I'm going to make a note to myself to separate this too. So we actually can see, we could actually see what this discovery calls bought, what this number is, and then how they do it is under this new client initial revenue. Up here, they break this down from this $2,800. They say for instance, this would be $1,730 would be new client revenue, which would mean that the remaining, $1,100 or $1,070 would be from reoccurring clients. So I think moving forward, I think I'm going to adjust that on my sheet. So make a note for that vision sheet. New client revenue. I think it makes more sense. Okay. Conversion call scheduled. I'm not scheduling any conversion calls. I'm not texting anybody. I'm just calling people after their initial claims. I'm just calling them. Performed 9 conversion calls, and we got 3 of them to convert to reoccurring. And then Katie actually converted 2 of the claims that she sold from the week before into reoccurring as well. So we got 5 total reoccurring clients. And then conversion client projected monthly revenue, $850. And then I guess on these 2, I didn't put these ones in here. I think this would be $400, $550. So one was biweekly, and the one was just a one-time, once a month. Okay, so that's the sales. Sales is going aight, not too bad. Client fulfillment. So again, we have 13 total claims. We have 7 reoccurring clients, 3 reoccurring clients. Mind you, the difference between reoccurring and reoccurring. Reoccurring are people who are on weekly, bi-weekly, every 4 weeks. Reoccurring are like Airbnb claims. Okay, where they happen consistently, they're just not on a weekly, bi-weekly, or every 4 week cadence. So they inconsistently happen. These people consistently happen. These people happen inconsistently. Anyway. New client claims, we had 9, 1 recurring, 3 reoccurrings, 3 new Google reviews, client complaints. We actually did have one. And I've changed this terminology to correction cleans and discounts. So correction cleans, discounts, because I don't mind if it, like, client complaining is like, we're trying to avoid feedback, and I like feedback, but when we do correction cleans or discount cleans, that's something that needs to be notated. Correction / discount cleans. Like if a client says, oh, they missed this and this, we don't go back and fix it, and we don't charge them any different, then that's just feedback for us to get better at our job. Okay, cleaner acquisition. So last week we spent $113 on Indeed. We got 26 website applicants. I did 6 prospect calls. Did 2 interviews. 2 people showed. Offered to 1. 1 person accepted. And yeah, last week we actually had a cleaner who onboarded, and we had 1 cleaner in training as well. And so we have Jocelyn started today, got onboarded today. We have 22 Google reviews. And then, yeah, you can see last week we had Katie, Shayna, and Bridget. And then Lindsay was the one who was in training last week. She did really, really well. We put Navy on here. So Navy is actually a contractor. She's somebody who cleans our Airbnbs when we were not down here in Arizona. And so we actually gave her an Airbnb clean a couple days ago, or last week, excuse me. So her name's still on here, but I'm not sure if it'll stay on here or not. I'm not sure if that'll be something we consistently do or not, but she did make an appearance last week. So that's what I was saying about Lindsay's JTH earlier, that I did not count it. So if we look over here at this JTH, you can see here it's from D58 to D60, which does not include Lindsay. It doesn't include these 31 hours. So a portion of these 31 hours are actually billable hours, where there's a portion of it that they're not billable. So instead of separating them, which I'm sure there is a way to separate them, I just did not include her at all. So, cool. Yep. So our revenue total hours worked is, yeah, it says it's 50, but it's much lower than that, simply because some of these hours are not included. And then client complaints, yeah, I didn't put this name in here, but her name is Patty. We had to do a correction clean on Monday. Oops. Yes. Patty Ferguson. Cool. This was 4-1. Cool. Okay, so discounted, no. Complaint, price reduced, no. It's very repetitive. I don't know if we need all that stuff. So anyway, no canceled recurring clients, no canceled reoccurring clients. We did give away 1 $50 cleaning voucher. So this was actually on, Patty actually got her daughter's house cleaned after this. So we did a correction clean on her house, and then she actually bought a clean for her daughter, and I gave her the $50 cleaning voucher on her daughter's clean as a way to fulfill the voucher on the second clean. So that's where that $50 came from. And I think that is it. That is it. So yeah, that was the Mesa 5-star 4-1 through 4-7 stat sheet. So if I look at this and analyze it, you guys can practice this as well. Like, what would you guys say is the area of focus? Like, how does this business continue to grow? You guys are putting your guys's coach hat on, and you're looking at this, and you want to give advice to this business owner. What are the things that you're seeing in order for them to actually reach $20,000 a month? Where do they need to focus on? Is it is it the amount of cleaners? Like, do they have the amount of cleaners to reach their goal? So they need 4 cleaners that are averaging 20 hours a week. Okay. Their weekly revenue, the revenue per clean, the amount of cleans. So right now they're at 13 cleans, which they need to get to 19 cleans, and they need to get it, and they need to keep up at $240 per clean. So is that where the focus needs to be? Really, those are probably the two areas that I would always look at is like how many cleans, what's the revenue per clean, how many cleaners do they have, what's their average cleaner hours. Those are kind of the two places I would always look for. Is like what does this business need? And so even though right now you can see right here that the goal is to have 5 cleaners, average of 20 hours. If I look down here and see that weekly total cleans is we need 19 and 240, the question I would ask myself is, could I get 19 cleans on an average of 240 with the current number of staff that I have right now? So could I get 6 more cleans a week with 4 cleaners? That would bump their cleaner average hours up to probably 25, right? In order for that to work. So we would need 103 divided by 4. So that means that each cleaner would need to work 25 hours a week. Is that reasonable? Yeah. So I would say right now, this constraint is actually right here. We just need more cleans, right? And continue to make sure that we're actually selling cleans for over $240, over $250. Also, that's what I would focus on if I was this cleaning business owner is get more cleans on the schedule, um, and obviously continue like you want to continue the hiring process in the fact that you're looking for somebody who's better than somebody on your team. However, like you don't need another cleaner right now in order for your business to grow. So, get at 20,000, really get more cleans, get get 19 cleans on the schedule, and make sure you're selling them for over $240. That would be the goal, and that's how you'll get to $20,000 a month. Cool. And the next question is, well, how do I get 19 more cleans on the schedule? So let's say that that's the problem. I need to get 19 more cleans on the schedule. Right? Well, what does your lead flow look like? Right. And so right now we're getting 47 leads a week. That's a good amount of lead flow. So from those 47 leads, can we from those 47 leads, right now we're getting on what 10 discovery calls. So again, like it's not directly from all these 47 leads, but that's a good measure. A good thing to measure is like how many leads did you get, and then how many calls did you actually perform. So 47 or 10 divided by 47, which is probably like 20%. Yeah, 21%. So you're getting on the call at 21% and then closing 7. So 7 divided by 47. So 15%. Yeah. So yeah, I think the advice I would give to this person, if I'm looking at it from a third party perspective, is how do I just get on more calls? So there's good volume here. We just got to connect with more people. So if this number, I would prefer this number to be like at 20 and the closing percentage to be down to like even 50%. That would get us 3 more cleans. So yeah, I'm less concerned about the closing percentage, and I'm more concerned about what this number is right here, this 7 number. The other thing that is encouraging is this reoccurring number is going up. And like when you're first getting started in business, it's really nice because the number just always goes up because like people haven't canceled yet because like you sold them, but they haven't had another clean. And so like there's like a nice little window where you get to build your recurring up really fast. And then you get the first one who drops off, and then you get the second one who drops off. And then you start to get like a more stabilized business where you don't just get this like huge hockey stick curve where you're like, okay, now you get here and then you probably peak for a little bit of time. And so that's the nice part right now is that we're getting this hockey stick curve because we haven't had anyone have the opportunity to cancel yet. It's a matter of time. But as I look at the schedule, a week out or 2 weeks out, like it's starting to fill up with these reoccurring clients, and so it's really nice, and we're still getting leads. So yeah, like right now, it's like when you're in the moment, you're like you still want to fill the clients or the cleaner schedule, especially now we have another cleaner who just started this week and filling a whole nother cleaner schedule. But if we look out, like these recurring clients are they'll start to show up in a couple weeks. They'll show up in a month, and then all of a sudden they're all going to show up at one time, along with all the new leads that always come on anyway. Yeah, it takes time to get momentum going, and then all of a sudden you have a problem of like, okay, I need more cleans to holy shit, I need I need a lot more cleaners. And so the benefit that I have is that this is not the first time that I've done this. And I coach a lot of you guys on here every single week, and it's not a secret. It's not a surprise. It's a combination of clients and cleaners. And so the goal is just to always have a inflow of both, right? And when I say inflow of cleaners, I want to be specific. I don't always mean that you're going to be hiring 2 or 3 cleaners at a time, but like you're always interviewing. You're always looking for that next cleaner who's like, okay, this person is really good. Like this person is somebody who I can see being on my team for a very long time. I see this person as a superstar. Like the benefit of interviewing and the benefit of hiring when you don't need somebody is that you actually can look through a different frame of reference and be like, okay, like I want this person. I don't need this person to make sure that my business, that I can do business. Like, but I see something in this person and I want them on my team. I know that they have huge potential. And when you bring on people that way, man, you start to find really good people and you realize how much easier business is when you surround yourself with superstars. And that's really the game. It's like, how do you surround yourself with superstars who can help you grow a big old business? Cool. All right.